Hey everybody, this is the Platinum Knight, and I'm here to review Death Stranding. I got my Death Stranding t-shirt on, and I have my Death Stranding Special Edition right here. Let's do this. If you follow me long enough, you know that I'm a big fan of Hideo Kojima. I grew up with the Metal Gear series, and through his works of art, I have grown to love this man. There is no denying he is a genius. Ever since the disconnect between Konami and Hideo after Metal Gear Solid 5, Sony cleverly decided to list Kojima Productions, and that's how Death Stranding's development was born. I'm sure everybody had the same reaction when they saw the first trailer at E3 2016, thinking, what the hell is going on? As more trailers kept releasing, it equally garnered bizarre and questionable reactions tempted to want answers. Anybody would be curious after seeing a naked Norman Reedus holding a baby. Without spoilers, I think the best place to start would have to be the story. It takes place in a near future in a post-apocalyptic setting. Earth has been nearly destroyed by these mysterious breach things, aka BTs, and by a disintegrative weather called timefall. I like how people's first reaction to timefall is acid rain. I thought that too, but it's actually liquid that rapidly ages anything it falls on. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, who takes a very ambiguous mission by the US President / his sister to link all facilities to the chiral network to make America together again, as he uniquely was born with dooms. Dooms are sensibilities that allows him to sense BTs, and because understandably normal humans don't want to do it, this makes Sam perfect for the job. You later meet all kinds of characters, but the one that sticks with you the most is BB, a baby in a anti-aging pod that enhances you to detect BTs. The world of Death Stranding is so atmospheric and immersive. I know it's easy to accuse Hideo of being on serious drugs when writing the story, but if you read all the files, you immediately realize this is still a fictional world where someone put a lot of thought into it, trying to make sense of it all, and isn't just some acid trip. There's so much data, journals, and backstory that made me feel more immersed and interested in this game. Does it still make sense? No, but maybe it doesn't need to be. That's why it's fiction. So many explanations, like why is there no planes, helicopters, and air drones, or how Fragile's umbrella isn't actually an umbrella. It's also super interesting to hear some people talk about what the world was like before the Death Stranding happened, finding it hard to believe it was once like ours.
Well, the world was different when I was a kid. America is a country. Anybody could go anywhere they damn well pleased. No need for couriers like yourself. You had highways, airplanes. Hell, you can even visit other countries. Hard to imagine it now.
Hideo has always been known for telling great stories, and with great stories comes with great character development. Every actor plays their role phenomenally. I like Sam Porter Bridges, played by Norman Reedus. I'm very familiar with his work, especially after watching 6 seasons of The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's how far I was able to make it. At first, Sam starts off as very careless, but eventually gives in after the death of his mother to rescue his sister, Amelie, played by Lindsay Wagner. Guillermo del Toro as Deadman is just fantastic. And for a famous director, I'm surprised he doesn't act more. Tommy Earl Jenkins does a solid job playing as die-hardman. Mama was very interesting with a very deep and sad backstory. Hartman, as laid back as he is, it's also very disheartening how he can't move on from the loss of his family, nor does he want to. Fragile, while mysterious at first, wanting you to eat bugs at times. I honestly grew to like her, and it sucks what happened to her and how she got caught in the time fall. Hideo has always been professional making villains, and Higgs, played by Troy Baker, is no exception. I just like him. He's so weird and awkward. I love how he constantly breaks the fourth wall talking to the gamer. There's even a part where he flat out asks, "Aren't you tired of the grind?" and then introduces you to a boss fight. There are other side characters, some to even fit celebrity cameos.
Wear it and you too can ride the river rapids without fear. Unless you're afraid of looking too sexy. Right? Really? Still nothing? You know what? Fine. Just go. Just go, okay? Yeah, and make the river your friend. That'll be fun.
But the best performance would have to go to Cliff, played by the one and only Mads Mikkelsen. I said in a previous livestream Norman Reedus should have won, but now that I officially beat the game, I am so glad Mads Mikkelsen won the award for best performance. He deserves it. When it comes to the gameplay, it's not like any other game you've played. It revolves mostly around delivering packages, but it's not about from getting point A to B, it's about how you get there and figuring out what is the best way to do it. Hideo has made it perfectly clear that this isn't a sneaking game like Metal Gear. However, with that being said, there are some stealth sections, especially when it comes to sneaking past BTs and mule camps. Like almost any game, you start with absolutely nothing, not even being able to defend yourself. I remember at first the BTs were super terrifying, but once you get your first Hematic weapon, they're not so bad. The more you progress, the more weapons you obtain from grenades, handguns, assault rifles, shotguns, launchers, trap weapons, making it easier to take down mules and not just BTs. But whatever you do, do not kill humans, or else a nuke will happen. Same if you get swallowed by a BT. You'll come back to life, but part of the map will be gone, making the game extra harder. I decided to play on normal mode, and how hard you want the game to be is entirely on you. The more packages you deliver to a facility, you can only earn up to 5 stars. Stars reward you with upgraded weapons and equipment. You can collect materials to craft things, build certain structures to make your journey easier or faster, like setting up post boxes to deliver lost packages sooner, power generators to power up vehicles and your equipment, watchtowers to mark things at a greater distance, build bridges, safe houses, zip lines. Zip line. When it comes to dealing with timefall, you do not want to stay in these areas for long, as they can damage your cargo. You can use container spray to repair them, or once you get the ability to build timefall shelters, not only do they shield you, but they instantly repair your packages. Although there are certain items you cannot fix, such as guns and equipment, as they're not fully contained, as they're meant for you to pull out quickly at any given time. Even if you're fearless against BTs, you still have to watch BB. If he gets too scared, the best way to take care of that is to very gently rock him until he calms down.
Everything's okay.
When it comes to the guns, you cannot collect more ammunition, only reload. However, you can rest in private rooms to refill your ammo. Resting in private rooms can also fill your stamina, calm BB, take a shower, or use the bathroom to make weapons, drink Monster energy drinks to increase your stam, look at yourself in the mirror to make faces, and yeah, I know that's weird. You can fast travel, but it is rather pointless seeing how you can't bring cargo with you, otherwise it would make the game way too easy and lazy. You can build a major road that connects most of the biggest map that lasts forever. I hear a lot of criticism that this is just a walking simulator. Really? Then can you please explain why are there different bikes, trucks, and zip lines? Sure, this game has walking in it, just like any other game ever made. Death Stranding's maps aren't the biggest, but still large enough. It may feel big to some at first based on the way the game is designed. You'll also be using tools, mostly ladders and climbing anchors. When it comes to the objectives, obviously the story missions are the best and the most interesting. There's plenty of side missions. You don't have to do them, but doing these will earn you rewards. There's regular deliveries, time deliveries, premium cargoes to make it extra challenging, retrieving missions, sneaking past BT missions. You can even do pizza deliveries, believe it or not, but surprisingly can earn you some of the best rewards.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Delivering cargo. Delivery complete. Displaying performance evaluation.
Probably the best story missions are the past realms where you can fight in previous historical wars. These segments immediately turn the game into an action third-person shooter. The music is amazing. One of the best soundtracks to a video game, mainly from Low Roar, and I'm happy they won an award. I really like how the game celebrates your birthday like in Metal Gear Solid 5. You can use delivery bots for standard orders, but you don't really get much, just materials. The more I think about it, I like how close this game is to certain aspects of our modern technology.
Once a self-driving car arrives at its destination, Digit will unfold itself from the back of the car. Then it'll grab the correct package from the vehicle and walk straight to your door to drop off the package.
Deploying autonomous delivery bot.
you can also use floating carriers, including to go snowboarding. There is plenty of unlockables and customizations. I want to consider Death Stranding a strategy game. When it comes to organizing your inventory, this would have to be an OCD person's worst nightmare. When you first play, the menus may seem confusing at first, but you get the hang of it and really appreciate how it's set up like that later on. The graphics are absolutely breathtaking and some of the best I've seen. Death Stranding is a very well polished and solid game. I barely experienced any glitches. I would do a tip segment, but all the tips you need are already in this game. The online aspects add a fresh mix to the campaign. It kinda reminds me of Nier Automata, how you can pray, retrieve, and repair fallen androids from other players. Even though Death Stranding is a single player only game, even though you don't really get to play with anyone else, it's surprisingly a good online game that works. Whenever you build a structure, it ends up in another player's world, potentially helping someone else. You can get likes or give likes. You can donate weapons and equipment to other porters, or they can donate to you and get more likes. Thank you so much to all the Sam porters that made my game easier without even knowing it. Ooh. Never mind, I have full batteries right here. The vehicle is fully charged. Give it a like. Thank you, Nicey. Night Shift 007. Hey! That's a cool name. But yeah, shout out to Night Shift 007, everybody. Even though he's most likely not gonna watch this. I can't pick that up, can I? Wait a minute. Hold on to bike. Oh my god, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yam, 816. Oh, you really saved me, Yam. Alright. I'm good to go. Thank you, Hulala Yang. I'm gonna rest in this, private room as soon as I'm done building the rest of the roads. There are NPCs, but they don't really stay with you. You are all on your own for the most part, but it makes me wonder what's gonna happen when Kojima Productions shut down the servers. Probably replace it with NPCs and randomizers. Okay, it's time to address the biggest elephant in the room, and that is how some people either really hate this game and think it's boringly tedious, or it's a unique masterpiece. While I do respect both sides, I do have some points that I would like to add to the conversation. A lot of people want to say this is just a FedEx or a UPS simulator. Really? I don't remember package deliverers risking their lives going through time falls and the undead, trying to avoid getting ambushed, climbing on top of cliffs and mountains on foot. If that was the case, I'd be even more grateful towards people who deliver packages. Sometimes I do feel that there are some double standards between Death Stranding and other open world games. Like, why is it okay for other game developers to do it, but it's wrong when Kojima does it, such as fetch quests or when you're not constantly shooting stuff? This leads me to believe that maybe some people were a little too hyped and expected bigger from Hideo, and I don't blame them, seeing how this is coming from the same developer who made Metal Gear and some of the most historical games of all time. But when this game was first announced, the first thing I did was to not get overly hyped, as this was around a time when I was trying to be more skeptical, which which would explain why I wasn't nearly as disappointed compared to some, as hype can kill fulfillment, meaning I don't feel biased since this was made by my favorite creator. So what is my score? What do I think of Death Stranding? Well, I know many will disagree, but I am giving Death Stranding a 8 out of 10. I like it. I really do. It's a unique experience. Yeah, it may not be the most fun game, and I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but I was still enthralled and very entertained, especially by its story and characters. Yes, it doesn't have the best gameplay, but I still felt I was building my own world. Look how many hours I put into it. Look how many likes I have. Oh, and of course I got the platinum trophy.
There we go.
I say, I don't know what I did to deserve such kindness.
That ending did legitimately give me that sad feeling in my throat and reminded me of the ending to the end of Evangelion. The only difference is, at least Death Stranding did it right. I'll tell you this, if you can't get invested in the story and world, you are not gonna like this game. If you decide to rush, not take your time, and not plan anything ahead, you are gonna have a very bad time, and I can see why so many people became frustrated. But even then, I still respect everybody's opinions, and I understand why they think it's boring and it's just not everyone's cup of tea. A couple of extra things I would like to add is, I admit, I do like most of the Metal Gear games than Death Stranding, even though that's kind of an unfair comparison, especially if you compare it to most of Hideo's other games. And I do wish we would have gotten either Silent Hills or Metal Gear Solid 6 instead, but that's most likely not gonna happen. Despite the rumors Sony is trying to acquire the licenses, ever since Konami ruined Metal Gear with Survive, I realized 2019 was the year of middle fingers to Konami, with Koji Igarashi releasing Bloodstained and Hideo being lucky enough to have Sony help him produce Death Stranding. Then again, Mr. Kojima has made it very clear he still appreciates what Konami has done for him, like the humble man he always is. It's also nice how Death Stranding is coming to PC soon, which I honestly don't understand why some are upset about that, seeing it's no longer exclusive to PlayStation. Guys, the PS4 is one of the best-selling consoles of all time. I think PlayStation is gonna be just fine regardless if it's exclusive or not. You would have to be a hardcore fanboy in order to be upset at something like that. If it goes on PC, then that means more money for Kojima Productions. They're still updating the game, like skipping certain scenes quicker and adding a photo mode. What's cool is there's no microtransactions. Even the way the game is designed, they could have easily put paid premium cargos. Norman Reedus has expressed he's still working with Hideo on other projects.
Why Norman Reedus Death Stranding? I did the video game because Guillermo del Toro originally called me and said, hey, a guy named Hideo Kojima's gonna call you, just say yes. And I was like, who is he? He goes, doesn't matter who he is, just say yes. And then I met Hideo at Comic-Con in San Diego. He came out back when we were gonna do a different game, and he showed me what he was working on, and I was just blown away. I mean, the guy's like a super genius. And then I became friends with him, started working with him, and we kept going. And so we did Death Stranding, which was a huge hit, and we're in talks to do other stuff. So that's why. Because it's Hideo Kojima, that's why.
Regardless if you like or hate Death Stranding, if there's one thing I know for sure is whatever Hideo decides to make next, I will be sure to support it. Alright everybody, that's it for this video game review, and thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and peace out everybody.